Hello, hello, hello again. I am back second time around, and I have a new first time guest on here. So, if all of you, you just say hello to Celeste Carter. I'm gonna bring her in a moment here. Wanted to bring something to your attention one little article that I came across today, and let me just show this to you here. This happens to be, whoops, sorry about that. All right, this happens to be 97 countries prepared to attend BRICS 2024 in June in Russia. So, a total of 97 countries have confirmed their presence in the BRICS 24 Games in June this month. The event will be hosted by the Russian President Vladimir Putin in the Kyrgyz region from June 12th to the 24th. All right, so that's interesting. 97 countries have already confirmed their participations. So the minister added that the BRICS 24 Games are an integral, it's a big part of the development of the countries, and they were basically ordered to be organized following decree of the Russian President Putin, which is an important part of their country's chairmanship in the organization. So I thought that was pretty interesting. So just a little bit more things that are happening out there. All right, and so who do we have out here? I want to just say hello. I see Sam is out there right now. I'm just going to jump over here before I bring our guest in. I always like to make sure we have everything up and running. And we're going to open up the phone lines for her also. If you guys have any questions, and let's see here. Oh, I see we have Colleen is back. Hey, Colleen. Thank you for coming back. All of you, thank you for coming back a second time around. All right, so let me just clear this stuff out of here. Oh, there was my article. Okay, I thought they were going to talk a lot more about the BRICS and not the whole Russian thing. So, in any case, what I was actually looking for was I want to introduce Celeste, and then I'll bring her in. So, the first thing that so these are some of the things that she pointed out to me when I interviewed her to come onto the show. And she's from the West Coast, and that's about as much as I'll say. She came into the world aware of more than the 3D experience from a very young age, and she could tell others their future and channel. And she could also remote view. Let's see here. She has a big family and that are all raised, and they're all talented and well adjusted. And so along the way, over several years, she picked up various healing certificates and licenses, and I'm going to let her tell you more about that. And also she did pick up a learning about Eastern cupping, which is sometimes called wet cupping, and I want to really hear what she has to say about that. It also does frequency healing and tuning forks and plays with the crystal bowls, excuse me. So let's just hear from her. She did give me, she's got over 30 years experience, and let me just take down this picture here. I didn't realize I was still sharing that. And stop the screen and bring her in. Hello, Celeste Carter. How are you?
Hello, hello, hello.
It's good to see you.
You as well.
Okay, so I mentioned a lot of things there. You basically are into the healings, but more than that, I think when we first started talking, you know a lot about minerals. You could start wherever you like to.
Okay, I'm going to give just a basic kind of background. So, when I had my first daughter, she got ear infections and was on antibiotics every month. So, I put tubes in her ears. And my uncle did it. So, it was a doctor I knew, but it broke my heart. And when they fell out, I was going to have to put tubes back in her ears. And I
Can
don't.
we're getting a little bit of feedback. Can you turn down the volume a little bit on your phone? They're getting feedback, which means that you're probably loud. Okay, all right,
Is
thank
that
you.
better?
Yeah, they're saying there was an echo. All right, you guys just keep me in touch. Rumble is bringing that up. I don't know about YouTube over there, but you guys let me know, and we'll just keep adjusting it. Go ahead, Celeste. I'm sorry to interrupt your
No, that's
flow.
fine. I actually, so I started looking for somebody to help me so I didn't have to put tubes back in her ears. I did find a chiropractor, and he was a natural doctor. So he kind of started me on my path. I did not have to put tubes back in her ears. And from that day on, and mind you, I have 5 kids. None of them went to a doctor after that. So I learned to do it. I also learned, well, I didn't even learn, it was just in me. I could lay my hands on them and heal them. And I kept it strictly to my kids because I had so many. And then once they were gone, then I started offering it to others. Along the way, I am certified in several different healing modalities. I picked up my esthetician's license, which, oh, that's better.
Did you notice the echoes went away?
Yeah, it
Okay.
was on my end too. It's gone. Yeah.
Let me just see. I'm getting it from YouTube, which is a bigger delay on YouTube than it is on Rumble. So I got a thumbs up from Scorpio Sunshine. Fantastic.
Yay.
That's what happens when you use a phone, you guys. If you want to come on my channel, PC means Microsoft's bullshit. And you have to, when you use your phone, I will allow it. But we just got to tweak. We got to tweak and then make it work. And we did. Woohoo!
Yay. Thank you.
All right.
So I actually started doing, I was an esthetician, started doing all that. My clients would find out what I do. So then I got clients for all sorts of other things. At one point I found a guy, and because you said you wanted to hear about the wet cupping, so I'll tell you, that's a funny story. I didn't want to do it. I found this guy, he was straight from Korea. I just wanted it done on me. And I wanted to clean out my body. And what ended up happening was I would tell my clients about it. And so he would come to my room at the spa 3 nights a week, and he would cup my clients, and he would also cup me. And he kept trying to teach me, but I didn't want to learn. So I kept kind of ignoring him. And finally he got mad at me and he made me learn. And so wet cupping, the original cupping is more of a wet cupping. In fact, it is part of the Muslim religion that they do this. And what happens is you follow the blood flow line like down the whole body, and you're cupping on top of the muscles, but you make like little, like almost paper cuts under the cup, and then it pulls all the garbage that's in the muscles out. And literally in that cup, because it coagulates, so it comes out like a jelly. And literally in that cup, you can tell what's going on in the person's body. You can also tell on the skin when the cups are on how bad it's blocked and different things. But what I was pulling out is oils. And he would tell me, and he traveled all around the world, and he would tell me, only really in the United States on the West Coast was all of this oil coming out of people's bodies. And what that oil equates to is basically what a stroke. And so I actually watched him work with a person that had had a stroke, and one whole side of her face was just drooped down. And as we started to cup and clean her out, and you have to do this, of course, more than once, her face started to go back up just from cupping and pulling the garbage out of her system. So, which was really good, because he also taught me they don't learn how the body works like we do. So I also learned to watch other things, even when I work with, because I make a lot of my own products, my own tinctures, different things. They're always something for healing. It helped me understand that a lot, because I know what I'm doing with the body. I know about the sticky blood in the body, which is what they put you on blood thinners for. If you clean up the blood, that will go. The problem is your body's not carrying it out and it's holding on to it. So that was definitely an education, and not one I planned on. So, and then when COVID hit, of course, they shut us all down, because in a spa, you can't open up. So I just took to the internet and I started selling my products. And that's where I'm at now. I do play the crystal bowls, which is kind of key to everything here too, and things that I noticed there as well. And why I am so adamant about minerals. Does that
Yeah,
help or?
yeah. Let's talk about. I know that when we originally talked the first time, you always went back to the basics of the minerals.
Mhm.
If you want to go there now, I think a lot of people, if you have questions, on her work and stuff like that, you guys will be able to call in about 20 minutes, and you can talk to her directly and ask her directly. Go ahead.
So I started extracting my own minerals quite a few years ago. I have another friend that I met along the way. I call him my shaman. He doesn't like to be called that, so I don't call him. But he lives kind of a nomad life. He's very into the healing. He helped me, or kind of turned me on to it. So I started extracting my own minerals from salts and from clays and stuff like that. And so I have been making them and taking them for years. What I notice is, and then as I dug in more, even on the research on minerals, I went from 30 years ago, starting out with my daughter, to now. And what I started out with is, the vitamins and eating certain foods or certain ways. And I still agree with that. And I tell everybody to eat how they want to eat. But as I progressed along the way, I noticed when I put my minerals in my products, like I have a face moisturizer that is absolutely loaded with them. And it was healing up everything. People would come back to me. So I started taking things in through the skin instead of, and kind of bypassing the stomach that way. And as it progressed, and I started playing the bowls more, the crystal bowls, and doing sound baths, always when I would do a sound bath, I always brought water bottles, and I always make sure that I structure the water for the people so they have some really good water. And then I always brought my minerals, and I, of course, asked them if they wanted it, but they all take it. Um, and so they would all put their minerals in their water bottles. Well, when it's over, so I created a pretty big following, and they would always say, "We've been to other bowl sessions before. What is it that you do that's so different?" Because we're actually having journeys and different, just they're going deeper, they're having journeys. Basically, they're entering into the state where they're programmable, where they're more relaxed, where you can actually shift things. And so for a long time, I would just laugh and I would say, it's not me. Like I asked for help from above or whatever you want to call it. And over the years, I had to think, what is the difference? It finally dawned on me. What the difference was is they were taking my minerals prior to. And if you understand that your body is electrical, and what makes things electrical? Well, it's minerals. So no wonder people can't access these states so easily if they're not mineralized. So, and then I had another little girl that has some. She always comes and she has some health issues, and she goes to a natural doctor, and he would kind of basically give her a tune-up every so often. She was on my minerals religiously, and she came back to me and she says, "I just met with my doctor, and he said, you know what? I don't know why you're here. I don't know what you're doing, but whatever it is, keep doing." And she said the only thing that she did different was taking my minerals. So, and I'm not saying there's not other good minerals out there, but these are what's called monatomic minerals. And you can write that down if you want and look it up. They are supposed to basically, monatomic minerals kind of straddle the 3D and then into more of the higher realms. And on top of it, on mine, I also add in ionic minerals as well, which is only a particle size. It's the ionic means it's just smaller than colloidal. So they're actually getting into your cells. And then also, as I dove deeper in on the minerals, everybody's worried about detoxing heavy metals out, just this detoxing. And don't get me wrong, I like am big detoxer. But do you realize that some of the minerals are responsible to help your body detox? So no wonder your body's not detoxing correctly if you don't have the minerals that you need. So it's come full circle into understanding it even more. Everything has to do, in my opinion, I think everything has to do with minerals and the quality of the minerals.
Well, from I'm just learning this. So one of the things that I heard about was a Celtic salt that has 82. Sometimes the number seems to fluctuate between 82 and 90 or something like that, but has the most. But like from what I'm reading and understanding is that a lot of people that drink water, they don't like to drink a lot of water because their cells are not absorbing the water, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so if your cells aren't absorbing the water, what do you need are the minerals to absorb it. So they have to be there present, so your body recognizes it. And I just read something last night about people putting mineral oil on the bottom of their feet and what it could do for them. Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
I guess you could you could spray mine. I make a magnesium mist that I also add some minerals to that I spray on the bottom of my feet. The one thing with the bottom of your feet is, and I know it's going to sound funny, but it's actually, you have the largest pores on the bottom of your feet. So when you take something in through the bottom of your foot, it actually gets right into your system. So even with my magnesium spray, there's been a couple times where I've started either into a Charlie horse on my foot or something, and I spray my foot immediately. It's always by the side of my bed, so I spray my foot immediately. I cannot even tell you, it doesn't even take 30 seconds. Like, that cramping is gone. Yeah. So the bottom of the feet can be key if you have time to put your feet up. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's great. So let's see here. We've got about another 10 minutes before I open the lines. If anybody has any questions, please don't be shy to ask if if you want to. So what else do you want to share with us? Because you had so much on your resume.
Well, that's the whole reason I came on here, is because maybe like 2 weeks ago, I'm watching a show and they are talking about natural stuff or something. And they start talking about like the toothpaste, natural toothpaste. So I started to give a little bit in the comments to where people could like do their own or get a good start on it. And then there was something else come up. And so I kind of gave a little comment on that. And I'm like, I got to go on this show because I want to get it out there. Yes, I sell products, but I also like to teach, and you don't have to buy all my products. I want to start sharing and start. So I want to empower people. I want to empower them that they can do it themselves, that they don't have to run to what they call a professional to do these things, that they can literally take their power back and start doing these things for themselves.
So we were on that one show. I think we were asking the basics. What how do you make deodorant? How do you make shampoo?
So really, let me tell you, on deodorant, it could be really easy. You can either take a lemon. I would just keep it in the fridge, cut it. You can rub a lemon under your arms, and literally that will keep your armpits good. What causes the smell is a bacteria. So you could do the lemon, which is really easy. You could do the magnesium spray and just spray it. The problem with the magnesium is, though, it does open your pores and can sting if you spray it right under your arms, because that's a tender area. So the thing, if you're going to spray it under your arms, you want to mix it with, I mix it with one of my creams that I have and spray it on the creams, and then just put that under my arm, and it keeps the smell away. So this is not an antiperspirant. It is a deodorant. So
Okay.
both those things you can do, and that's really easy.
Okay. Let's see. I know that. Why don't you just kind of run through various things that you make that are homemade? And then maybe that will trigger something for somebody to ask you, how do I make that, if somebody wanted to call in and ask you directly. So the number here is below my name, and it's if you can't read it, it's 565-999-3717. And I've got about another 9 minutes. I can't go any earlier than that, start taking calls. But I hope that you guys do have some interest in this, and maybe you could just share with us a little bit more of the type of things that you do make, or that would save us lots of money from the retail big boxes.
Yeah, so I know the big thing out there is to, like, everybody's using all of these seed oils and putting them on their skin. I'm not a big advocate of a lot of the seed oils. There are a few that I like. I do like coconut oil. I do like olive oil. But at the same time, it has to be a very good one. So I'm not a big proponent of the seed oils, because coming from that background of doing the wet cupping, these oils oxidize and stay in your system. And don't get me wrong, I used to use a lot of them. And I can tell you when I would put my clothes on, they literally would oxidize on my clothes and turn brown and stuff on some of my clothes. Since I made the switch over, and I will tell you, my main one that I absolutely love is tallow. Since I made the switch over to tallow, it doesn't do that to my clothes. So if it doesn't do it to my clothes, it means it's not doing it inside my body. So I do use castor oil. I absolutely love castor oil. I do use that for a lot of. You can take a mason jar. I have one here. It has a tincture in it, so don't look at the color. But you can take a mason jar, fill it up. If you want to use castor oil, you can use castor oil. And put a little bit of olive oil in there if you want to thin it out. You could fill it up maybe a third with your herb that you want, and then the rest with your oils. And so you don't have to do this size of jar. You can do a smaller jar, but do a third of it, your herb that you want to do, and then do the rest of it, the oils that you want to do. You can put it in a dark spot and let it sit there for 4 to 6 weeks. I do that. And I also use another method, which you take your crock pot, you don't fill it up, just enough water, depending on the size of jar you have. And you put it in the crock pot on low. Now, do not cover it. And you put like a wash rag under it, and you set it on top there, let it sit for low. You could do that. Some people do it for like 8 hours. I do it for 3 days, let it sit in there on low. So it's not going to burn my oil. It's just going to keep my oil warm. And I shake it every so often, or stir it up or whatever. And after that, then you have your infused oils, and you can strain it and put it in whatever container you have. And that way, medicinally, you can do it, whether it's medicinal, or you could do it as far as hydration. Now, I put tallow in that jar along with, like, usually castor oil or something else. So I do it a little bit different. But if you've never tried castor oil, I dare you to try it, because the minute you put it on your skin and feel it, you fall in love with it. It is the closest thing to your own skin sebum, on top of having vitamin D in it and other nutrients in it. It's just the one thing that I found that, you can feel it in your skin. It just like drinks it in. Does
Mhm.
that answer you kind of?
Yeah, it does. I've been using castor oil for my knee to pull out the inflammation. I used it 3 nights in a row, pulled it out. So sometimes it just depends. I don't have the problem with my knee as much anymore. But I just started to learn all these different things and what you can do with it. I think we were talking the other day on my other show. You put them on your eyelids and makes your eyelashes grow. I put it on my face after I take a shower. I put a little bit on it. I actually burned my hand taking something out of the oven, and right away I went to the castor oil. It turned it a really ugly brown, but I knew what it was doing, right? But it took away the sting
Yeah.
right away. And
I got to tell you real quick, since you're on that subject. So in my first aid kit, always, everybody needs this. is a lavender essential oil. It's the one oil that you don't have to dilute. And literally, if you would have burned yourself, you could have put the lavender on, and the lavender would have taken away the sting or the pain right away. You would have never blistered, and it never would have turned brown.
All right, great. I think that I think we need to make like an emergency kit, right? I know that
Yeah.
the big manufacturers out there are making them with ivermectin and all these Z packs and all this other stuff. But you know, back in the day, I used to have a homeopathic um, container. I can't find that brand anymore. I don't remember even where I had gotten it, but geez, I used that all the time. And then when I went to go refill it again, these are just little tablets, but I want to understand
Mhm.
working more with the herbs. So you grow something in your garden and you know that it's healing. And then what do you do with it? You've got to dry it out. I'm trying to understand that whole
Well,
process.
some people do use the wet herb. I never use the wet herb because I feel like that introduces moisture into the mixture, whatever you're doing, and you don't want it to mold or spoil with that moisture over time. So I always use the dry herb because I do your oils or your mixture, your infusions are going to last longer because you didn't infuse, you didn't get the moisture in it.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. So, yeah. So, like I said, I'm learning a lot of different things, going holistic. That's what this is all about, is going holistic. So you're going to get the sun moving in on you really soon here, if you're not already, did you want to close that blind or?
Actually, my blind is closed and I was
Oh,
trying to sit, but you know what? I'm going to move back.
okay. There you go. Yeah. All right. Good. Okay. Yeah, we can see you much better now. All right. So, if anyone is interested in calling, the number is the 563-999-3717. The lines will open up in about 2 minutes, 2 minutes and 12 seconds to be exact. And is there anything else that you want us to learn about you, Celeste?
You know what? I'm always learning. There's not a day goes by probably that I am not researching something. I still have some of my clients from when I was an esthetician, a few. I didn't keep very many of them. Oh, that's another thing. So a big thing is the eczema and the psoriasis and everything. Everybody's been coming down with eczema and psoriasis. So I'm actually working on a formula right now for that because some people try, and there's other things out there and they do work, but they don't work for everybody. I kind of know why that is. I don't want to go into it right now, but so that's what I am working on. And when I have it done and figured out in the next couple of weeks, I'll let you know.
Okay. Let me just put your information up there for the folks there at home. I'm not sure what device could actually see that. There's a ticker down below, and this is it's at Loving My Self Care link tree, and then / Loving My Self Care. All right. So first of all, I want to say thank you for the earlier this morning or late afternoon, whatever it was that you called in and helped me test. So that was fun to hear your voice. Um, and so I got like 40 seconds here. I'm actually going to just, I don't want to go through that whole thing where you guys have to hear all this. So I'm just going to mute for a minute. What is the next thing that you'd like to start to share with us?
Me?
Yes.
How about, because when I was on, people wanted like a toothpaste, a natural toothpaste that's easy. I had to put my glasses on, not so young. And so I wanted to give people a few ideas on a homemade toothpaste that they could do themselves. You can use bentonite clay, and please write this down because you can use one or all of these and combine them all, or just use one. You can use plantain powder, chamomile powder, bentonite clay,
Talk radio.
baking soda. I always put a teeny bit of baking soda in there. It just helps. And you can also maybe drop a little essential oil if you want to mint or something. Shake your little container up and you're done. You've got a homemade toothpaste.
All right, there you go.
Our show will go live in 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1.
I was afraid to mute you because to mute this, but yeah. So anybody interested in? I have to remove those. Those were embedded from when I did my show 4 years ago using the software, and I'm surprised it kept it. All right, so we are live with Celeste Carter, and we are now taking calls. And the number is the 563-999-3717. Are you guys sitting at home and you're just wondering, do you have a particular ache or pain or something that you're dealing with? And let's see here, Flake Away. Flake Away doesn't want to call in, but we'll put something up here. It says, I've been suffering with sporadic, what is it? Dermatitis since late 23. I'm a castor oil and coconut oil lover also. Any comment on that?
Well, that's the formula I'm working on right now. I do have one. I believe it is I have an Etsy shop for right now. I can't remember if it's in there. It's not. If it's not in there, it'll be in there in the next day or two. But so here's another. It's not a myth. Everybody jumps on the bandwagon of frankincense being so good for the skin, and it is. And they go out and they buy frankincense essential oil, which I have that too. But there's 3 different types of frankincense oil. One is very expensive. I actually do put it in my face cream. But if you actually want the full effects of frankincense in this cream that I'm making for the skin issues, I'm putting frankincense resin in. With frankincense resin, there's a lot of things in that resin that it loses during the distillation of the essential oil. So actually, if you want to really heal, you want the resin. Anytime I'm working with herbs and different things, if it has a resin, I will take the resin over the other herb. Just like myrrh, I do the myrrh resin as well and crush it all up and then get my oils infused with it. Now that has seemed to help a lot as far as skin issues. I also use Shilajit in it. And that's because not only Shilajit, if you take it internally, it will help internally. It will help with these skin issues. But I put it into my creams because it also helps boost whatever else I'm putting in there. It will boost the effectiveness of it. So, and then there's one more thing I'm just going to add to it because I already have a great combination and it already is working. And I'm using these things that I'm telling you. But I'm going to add this one more thing and see if I can boost it even further because I don't want it to be a hit and miss on whether it works for one person and not for the other. I want it to work for everybody. So that's why I said kind of stay tuned a little bit over the next couple weeks and I will let you know how that's going too.
Okay. All right. All right. So apparently we don't have a lot of people in the live chat out on Rumble. I'm just hoping that we are up and running on that. If anybody out there, yes, Colleen just confirmed that too. And that sometimes happens. A lot of other shows are going on at the same time here. And we can't always work around it. But all right, I've got another question for you. And please, we want to hear your voice. We want to get to know you and please utilize this calling in. But Gloria Patty has a question. I'm going to put it up on the screen here. And it is, what can you do for high blood pressure? Now, that's a really good one.
Amazing. Cayenne pepper. Do the cayenne pepper. I'm actually going to write that down too because so when I start getting asked these things, sometimes I can't pop off the top of my head because it is in here, but it's just not popping out.
So cayenne pepper is basically it moves the blood, right? Mm-hmm. So you want to explain that a little bit? What cayenne pepper does inside the body?
Oh, so here's two. I don't have this up for sale. So if there's anything I'm talking about or saying, and I tell you it's not in my Etsy shop, let us know or put in the comments or something if you're interested in it, because I do make a cayenne pepper salve. So you would do the same thing as I showed you before. You would take the your herbs that you want. So I wouldn't add that much cayenne pepper though. And then you can also look up black walnut is great. Black walnut hulls. I actually have a black walnut tincture as well in my shop, and that is good too. But hold on.
Well, we're going to take a call here. So you will stay about a minute or so. Let's just see who we have here holding.
Hello, this is Sherry. Can you hear me? Good morning.
Hello. Yes, let me turn it up a little bit more.
Hello.
Yes, I can hear you now.
Hey, Janine, this is Sherry, or AKA Hula Hoop.
Hello.
Oh,
How are you?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Well, I was taking a walk, and I had to come back home so I could take notes.
oh, you crack me up.
Yeah, no, you are just, I'm just loving this because it's so funny. You just hit me when you were talking about your child with the ear tubes, because I had the same thing. And my husband's a chiropractor. And when my daughter had her ear tubes and hers fell out and they wanted to put more in, my husband took her to a cranial adjuster, and he adjusted her cranium. And we never had to put tubes in her ear again.
So is that the sacral work that they do? Is that what you're referencing?
Yeah.
I loved
that
it.
was like back in 1990. That was like in 1994.
Yeah,
I got you beat. I was back in 87.
So, yeah.
My question is, well, first of all, the frankincense. I made a soap that my sister and I make homemade soap just for personal use, and we give it as gifts because we use the most expensive ingredients. But we make a soap that everybody loves. It's frankincense and patchouli.
Ooh, yeah. Nice.
Fantastic.
Yeah, everybody loves that. Yeah.
I
but
bet.
My question is, at my healing center, we do the detoxing ionic foot baths. Mm-hmm. Now, I have a lot of clients that come in and have foot baths at other facilities, and they've never had anybody give them the trace minerals during and after their foot bath to replenish. Now, I'm just giving them a trace mineral that I buy from the manufacturer that does that actually manufactures the foot bath. Do you have, would you recommend anything else to go along with?
Get my number through Janine, because she has my number and we can talk. But you know what? Of course, I make the products, so I think mine is probably the best. But I'm going to say that because I go to great measures. Not only do I have the trace minerals.
She's still talking. Sorry, Celeste.
Okay.
Go ahead, Hula Hoop.
Oh, no, yes, because I'd like to compare it because, of course, I want my clients to get the best because I want them to, get the best experience and to get the best detoxing that they can without harming their body. Yeah. Right. So you have something that I could look at?
Yeah, like I was saying, I have my Etsy shop. But that being said, guys, if you go onto my Etsy shop, I have to be very careful the way I word things, or else they keep taking my listings down, of course.
Yeah.
So, but I also, in mine, I put some ionic things in mine as well. So it's not just, it's two different forms of the trace minerals. So your cells can actually use it.
Right.
Better. Put it that way, better.
Okay. Now, when I go onto your Etsy, is there anything specific I need to be putting in, or can I just contact you personally?
Get my number from Janine. I'm fully aware of who you are because I've seen you guys on here before.
Celeste, I don't do that. You got to provide the information to them. I won't be the middle person here. I'm promoting you to talk about your stuff. So I'm promoting your website right now. So, or whatever that is, the tree link. Can they get a hold of you?
Okay. Yes,
Yeah.
you could get a hold of me through my Etsy shop. It's called Loving My Self Care. Now, that being said, when you look it up, sometimes people have a hard time finding it. I'm a little bit shadow banned. So I gave Janine a link. If you click through the link, though, you can get to me easier and you can message me there.
Perfect.
Okay, great. Great. So I'll message you through Etsy. Okay, that sounds fabulous. And let's see here. Was there anything else? I think, oh my gosh, I have others, but yes, thank you so much for your time, and I'm thoroughly enjoying this. And thank you, Janine, for bringing on these great people. I thoroughly enjoy it.
Oh, good. So share it and like it and get this out there a little bit more. Thank you for calling in. I appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
It's good to hear your voice.
Okay, bye, ladies.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, let me just disconnect from this one here. And I am, oops. Okay, how do I disconnect from that one? Oh, hello. All right, so actually we've got another question out there. So I've got your banner down below with your links, but there's somebody is saying that they really love the frankincense. I think that's Colleen and patchouli. I think that's how you pronounce it. And they want to know how to make the soap. Right? Are you prepared to explain that one today?
Well, soap is a little more of a process, and I actually have not wanted to take that one on. I'm fully aware of it because I'm in awe over these soap makers. There's lots of videos out there about how to make it. I am going to source, and I just talked to him yesterday. He only makes it for his family and friends as well, but he is open to making it, so I could offer it as well. The one thing about soap is too, you do have to learn to work with lye. And that being said, it's not a scary thing as long as you take the precautions, but most all soaps have lye in it. It's a hardening agent. Even your store-bought soaps have lye in them. So I can research it and I can tell you but right off the top of my head, because I haven't made it myself, but I understand the whole process, I can talk about it at another time.
Sure. And you know what? I plan on having a roundtable sometime in the near future where I would have you on here, possibly Jackie if she wanted to, and Hula Hoop. Hula Hoop makes soap. So, and she sent me some bars. I shared that with everyone. Oh my God, they're just, I was using them to wash my hand, and she came into the chat and she says, Janine, use them when you take a bath or a shower. And boy, did I think it was like, because you use a regular bar soap, and you still get that film or residue on you. Didn't feel any of that. Felt super clean. So it's good. It's good. I want to have a roundtable with all of you ladies on here, or guys, anybody who's making anything out there. All right. We'll take some more calls. All right. And let's see here. So the number is 563-999-3717 if anybody wants to call in. You can even ask me a question. And if you like to. Okay. I think that's all that I have. What else do you have? We're into this. We've got a few more minutes with the phone call. So if anybody wants to make a call, please do it now.
Can I tell you a great pain reliever?
Yeah, sure. We all want to know about those.
The wild lettuce. So you can infuse an oil with wild lettuce. And if you go online, you can purchase the wild lettuce herb. You can infuse an oil with that and rub it on. It's a great pain reliever. Put a little bit of magnesium in that as well, and you got yourself a good pain relief.
Yeah. Boy, we all need those different things, but we have to walk away from the I don't want to. I've got to be careful what I say here. The stuff that you buy over the counter, right? Because we know the effects that it has, and on our body. It numbs everything. As far as I'm concerned, everything that they have is just to numb it so you don't feel it, but then you wake up the next day, it's there. The castor oil packs I use in 4 days.
I'll tell you about pain relievers that you take, like all of your Tylenol, all of your ibuprofen, that
Whoa,
stuff.
whoa, 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 be very
Oh,
careful.
I'm sorry. Sorry.
Yeah, be very careful. That's why I was saying over the counter. We don't want to say anything about the over the counter stuff.
Sorry.
So yeah. No, we're good. We're good. You didn't say anything, but I knew where you were going with that. Okay. So anybody else have any other questions out there or anything else? I just want to take a pause for the cause here and let everyone know who I have coming up, and then I'll let Celeste collect her thoughts on where she wants to talk about next. But my shows that I have coming up here, I'm doing a Tuesday every Tuesday with I will make sure I don't get these names confused. But every Tuesday is Jackie Chapman, and then on Thursday is Celeste Carter, and then on Friday, starting in about 2 weeks, and it's only going to be twice a month. I'm doing I'm not even sure how often it'll be, but Kristen Lee will be coming back. We had so much fun with her. Saturday, I'm going to try to do some roundtables and do a show with Buck. So we have a lot coming up for you guys here, and I'm so looking forward to having all of you guys back on here. I was only planning on doing 2 shows a week, but then now all of a sudden, I just let it be, whatever is happening, and I try to handle it. And there will be days that maybe I won't do a Tuesday, or I won't do a Thursday, or they won't have time, or something comes up, and that's okay. But we're not held to anything that's concrete here. Let's see here. I got a statement. Let me just read it. It says another great pain relief for deep bone pain is Siberian fir. It's the only thing that they have found for their arthritic deep bone pain when this person can't sleep. And this is coming from Shabby Maverick. That is I've never even heard of that, Shabby. Thank you for bringing that to my attention. That you guys, we just need to research this stuff. There are so many things out there. I did a show, Celeste, where I was talking about there's so much stuff out in your backyard that you could actually use. And that was just not everybody's backyard, but you could actually go to an open field and find a lot of these things. We got to do our research on it. So, maybe that's a show that we can actually do, is start identifying these different plants. And we all know what dandelion can do, and there's so much that dandelion can do. But so that's where we're at right now. So 5 more minutes I have left. 563-999-3717. Anybody else has any other comments, concerns? And I also wanted to put that out there that even though I mentioned that Hula Hoop makes soap, she doesn't sell it. So I just wanted to be very clear on that. She makes it for her family. And I think that, I just don't want anyone to get the wrong impression that she's in the biz. All right, Celeste, what else do you have?
I don't know. Do you have a direction you want me to go?
Let me see here. Well, we were talking about everything that's organic and natural products, and I'm just taking a look and what you had sent over to me. If anybody has any questions, please make that call or put it in one of the chats out there. Let's see what we have here. Okay, so some of the topics you said that you would talk about is why you treat physical, emotional, and energy bodies, frequency, frequency in your body's allergies. If really, we had rain for a week here, and you would think that it would clear everything away. It stirred it all up. Frequencies in your bodies, minerals, sea salts, and how you make your own tinctures and toothpaste, which you talked about. Let's talk a little bit about hormones. How about that? When I see it
That's
on your
where
list.
I wanted to go. You read my mind.
All right, let's do it.
So I do make a wild yam cream, a hormone cream. I have 2 different ones. I have a vegan one, which I don't use. Others, I sell it to other people, but I make one with tallow. Most people aren't aware of, they have over 50 hormones in their body. If one is out of whack, they're all probably out of whack. And it's a big craze out there because what is her name? Barbara O'Neill, put the plug in for a hormone cream that was out of Australia. So that just like hit everywhere. So people are starting to become familiar with it. So I actually made it. I didn't think I had a hormone imbalance, but I made it because I still, like I told you, my clients still buy from me. Plus I sell product to estheticians and stuff, and I have it in a couple stores. So I did make a hormone cream, but I was very well aware of what the actual probably culprit is. So when I made it and started using it, and I didn't think that I had an imbalance very much, I realized I started sleeping better, and I was sleeping good. I didn't know I was sleeping not as well as I could be. I started waking up happy every day. I mean, I just wake up and I'm happy instead of that. I don't know, just but the emotional, like the highs and lows, like the really high, or like the lows, the depression, the anxiety, that left. It is way more even. So then as people started using that, and it is helping people.
Yeah.
Even men need it. It's unbelievable. So this does not have any hormones in it. It has diosgenin. Diosgenin is in the wild yam. That's what makes it work. It's also in fenugreek. Now, what that does for your body is your body makes whatever it's lacking in. It kind of gives your body that little jump start to start making its own hormones. It is not giving your body hormones. I've had people that have been on hormone cream and stuff from like the wherever that they got headaches and different things. And this does not do that. It's a very good hormone balance. My daughter, that after she gave birth, and the first baby, she had really the baby blues bad. And the second time when she had the second baby, I was making the cream, and she got on it, and literally night and day difference from one day till when she woke up the next morning as far as her emotions. It also, some of the joint pain is due to hormones. So I had this shoulder that when I'd work out or when I'd lift, I would get up to about right here and I could feel it in my shoulder. It didn't stop me, but I could feel it. So when I first got on it, that got worse. I had worked out and stuff, so it was very minimal. That got a little bit worse for about a month or so, but it's gone now. So even some of the joint pain and stuff like that is hormonal. And I have men get on it, and they're the best ones on it.
Goodbye.
They're the ones that stick to it. I can't even explain when you're so used to getting up and you're kind of doom and gloom quite often, or catch yourself going down emotionally. With this, it's a night and day difference for people. And it kind of almost makes me, get a little emotional. To feel more at ease in your body and more at ease emotionally is, that's a life changer alone, on top of helping with the different physical symptoms like women, hot flashes, different hormonal acne, stuff like that. So this is my one thing I really, really, really push, is because I know how big a difference it can make for people that don't even realize that they have a hormone imbalance. And I think that's where we get attacked a lot, is the hormones.
Yes, definitely. So, let me just tell you a little story here with me. I always thought that, I had a thyroid problem, right? I had it for years, but, the basic putting my faith and trust into doctors when they get my blood work. And they put me on something. I'm not even going to mention what it was. And it was interesting because I would lose control of my emotions very easy. And I, started to see a pattern in watching this. And so I went back to the doctor and I said, I don't want to be on this medicine anymore. And she said, well, let's do more blood work, after she just did some blood work 6 weeks ago to see what has changed. And then she says, "Oh, just cut the pill in half." And I said, "I don't want to be on this thing." And she was, "Why?" And I was giving her the side effects. Wouldn't do anything about it. And so then I found another doctor. I fired that one twice, mind you. Found another one, and she did the blood work, and she says, it's just a little high. It's not enough to put you on the medicine. And I knew this. I took myself off of the medicine actually, and this is what we have to do. But once you start to realize that you're taking something that has hormones in it, it's going to throw something else off in your body. You have to pay attention to those. What, like when you talk about the hormones, can you talk about a little bit of like the things and the symptoms wise, or you?
Sure. So that's a big one. Like the emotional, you have the younger girls, they have very painful periods. Women, your breasts could be sore when it comes to that time of month. The hormonal acne. How many older women start going through menopause and they say my skin's like a teenager again? That's hormonal. Even some of the joint pain is hormonal. Sometimes headaches can be hormonal. Men that think, oh, I'm going to tell you something else that I realized too. So because I do energy work. So you know how people say you get these stuck emotions? So I have a stuck emotion. It's right under my rib cage. Had it for years, worked on it for years. I can get it better. Does it go completely away? No, I'm very well aware of it. But after I started on the cream, these stuck energies, gone.
Mm-hmm.
So, and my minerals are in this as well. So that's another, that over the long run, you're getting remineralized too, which is a big culprit of this as well. But there's so many symptoms that are hormonal that it doesn't end. Like people get on the cream and stuff happens or something, it helps something for them that I even had no idea that it had to do with hormones. That's why I say, I think through a lot of these dietary things and that the hormones have really, really been attacked.
All right. And the last subject here that we'll talk about is a hair growth. You had that on your list there.
So that's hormonal as well. But I was going through, and I did my cream. I've been on my cream. I can't say that my hair growth changed. I will say like this right here, for years could not get it past here. So I made an oil for my scalp, and I'll tell you exactly what I put in it. I put tallow in it. I put castor oil in it. I put rosemary and cloves in it. I put it, fill my thing up with the oil, put it in the double boiler, not double boiler, but crock pot, like I told you to begin with. Let it sit in there for 3 days, put it in a dropper. My hair, kid you not, in the last 6 months, and mind you, my hair didn't grow, these right here did not grow past here for years. It's not like a year, years. And now this is down here. The back of my hair was maybe down to here. And now, if you see, it's past my bra line.
Yeah.
So I put a little bit on my fingertips, and that I'll put up for sale in the next couple of days, maybe the next week in my shop as well. But I just told you how to make it too. But you put just a little bit on your fingertips, massage it through your scalp a couple times a week. That's all I do. It doesn't get real greasy, but you probably are going to wash your hair unless you're going to wear a ponytail or something, wear it up. But I will tell you, people now are commenting on my hair growth, and I gave you the exact ingredients that I put in, so it helps.
So they would like the correct spelling of tallow. How you're,
Tallow.
Okay, that's.
So tallow is just beef fat, but I get beef fat that's organic, GMO free, and it's been rendered. So there's really not a smell to it. But I'm telling you, if you've never tried it before, the first time you put it on, I mean, my kids, when I first had them use it, my one daughter came back to me. She goes, "This is the funniest thing, but I can't wait to get home from work and take my makeup off and put my tallow on." That's
There you-
how good it feels.
Oh, that's great. All right, I think we're going to wrap this up here. We're right on the hour here. I appreciate it so much, Celeste, for you sharing this information with us. We're going to bring something different next Thursday with you, and maybe we'll share a few videos and stuff like that. I'm not sure, where you want to go, but you can plan it out. And so I just wanted to tell everybody thank you for joining me here tonight on YouTube and on Rumble. And I hope you guys, and I'm seeing a lot of people out there that are basically saying that they have learned so much. And let's see, they're loving the information, just so that you know that. And so there you guys go. And Colleen says, thank you so much for the information. So this is really good. I'm glad to see this kind of feedback. I was expecting a little bit more people in the Rumble, but there must be somebody else must be doing something live on Thursdays. We're going to have to think about the time next time, because I'd like for you to get a larger audience here, share the information. Now, you also do healing work. You talked about the bowls and stuff like that. Maybe we can go that direction, talk more about energy frequencies and so on. So I appreciate it. And thank you guys, whoever called in today. And keep this number handy, because, we're going to be using this number moving forward. And I want to hear from you guys. You have a voice, and everybody needs to be heard. Thank you so much. And now we turn the page.
Thank you, Janine. Thank you.
Bye-bye, Celeste. Thank you so much. Bye, everyone. Have a good evening.